In this video, we're going through everything that should be included in remakes of Tomb Raider, from things such as gameplay mechanics and elements to things about the level design and more. Hey guys, Single Player Universe here, please like and subscribe and let's dive into the video. Tomb Raider remakes of the original 90s classics are what all of us hardcore Tomb Raider fans have been crying out for a very long time. However, it is time the original game and Tomb Raider 2 and 3 get the remake treatment, and it deserves the Resident Evil style remake, which is known as the reimagining, due to both games going to various places that would be cool to see in modern visuals, such as the Venice levels, the Maldoria levels, and the Tibetan levels in Tomb Raider 2 and in Tomb Raider 3, and the Nevada levels and London levels would be really cool to see in improved graphics. And although the outdated visuals and textures are the real things we really want to be improved, the visuals being improved to a modern standard is not the only thing that us fans want in a remake though. We want certain gameplay mechanics and elements and other features to be added while remaining faithful to the originals. Some of these mechanics and elements are what should have been included in the originals already, while some were just recently introduced or haven't been included due to the limited technology at the time. Starting with gameplay mechanics, one mechanic that should be added is ability to do hand-to-hand combat. This mechanic has not been present since the Angel of Darkness, and is the first and unfortunately the last game where punches and kicks were present in the game. Since then, the mechanic has been removed and replaced with melee involving gun butting, use of knives or ice axes as seen in Rise of the Tomb Raider, but it would be great to see Lara Croft kicking and punching again, considering that there are levels where you're unarmed, such as Natala's Mines, Offshore Rig and High Security Compound. Another mechanic that deserves to be involved is the Adrenaline Dodge from Tomb Raider Anniversary, a mechanic that was heavily inspired by the popular bullet time from The Matrix, which was also featured in Rockstar's Max Payne. When I first played Anniversary, I loved the game, and the Adrenaline Dodge was the mechanic I loved the most. While it became repetitive, it could adapt in a way where we don't end up overusing it, while being able to maneuver around enemies was so great that the mechanic is one of the gameplay mechanics that deserves to return in these remakes. The combat mechanic should be more refined though, and should introduce a more stylized kind of combat that allows for acrobatic moves, to dodge bullets, avoid charging animals and creatures, and to feel more like the original Tomb Raider games. And the cover-based shooting doesn't help, it should be ditched. Lara isn't a soldier, she doesn't need any cover or protection if she maneuvers a lot. And cover-based shooters are getting so boring right now as they are so common nowadays. There are perfect examples of games where they are cover-based, but you could have a style where cover is hardly needed. I'm going to take one example that can easily be beaten without cover. This example is Mass Effect's Vanguard playstyle in Mass Effect 2 and 3. With some practice and easy understanding, you can easily maneuver without taking cover in a single place. So if some of these games can do it, so can Tomb Raider. One of the elements that should be included is the grapple. The grapple was introduced in the Legend saga and was used for various things such as melee, to swing across obstacles and to pull down certain objects. While similar things to the grapple were introduced into the recent rebooted trilogy, I still think the original grapple from the Legend saga was a great feature that should be included in the remakes. The one other thing that the remakes deserve, particularly in a remake of Tomb Raider 3, is a flashlight. Probably one of the things that should have been mandatory in the original games was the flashlight, instead of the flares that we got. A flashlight would have made things easier in games such as 2 and 3, and while a challenge is much appreciated, some places just got too dark. Examples include Tomb Raider 1 levels such as the Atlantis levels, Tomb Raider 2 levels such as the Wreck of the Maldoria and Catacombs of the Talion. Tomb Raider 3 levels also include the London levels, some of the Nevada levels and South Pacific levels. And a way to prevent flashlight from making these darker levels so easy is to include a battery meter where you can only use the flashlight for a certain amount of time. The game design must be nailed though, as Tomb Raider Anniversary, although I loved the game, just scaled down a lot of the levels in the original and simplified the levels, and removed some puzzles such as the Palace Mindus, where the garden is ditched and the memorable symbols on the doors and the array of levers that were in the original are gone and replaced by levers that are scattered all into one room, which is one of the things that I was disappointed about. So the level design should go back to the original grid system seen in the classic Tomb Raider games. The Tomb Raider remake should make every area a new environment and give us a sense of discovery, and expand on areas that may have had more potential, such as Colosseum, City of Kamoon, Wreck of Murdoria, and Nevada Desert. Some of these levels, such as the ones from Tomb Raider Unfinished Business or Gold in North America, it would be cool to expand City of Kamoon by integrating certain parts from Return to Egypt and the other Egyptian levels from Unfinished Business. Platforming of the original games deserve to be refined in a way we have a feeling of climbing up a mountain, and when we reach the top we have a sense of victory and achievement. The atmosphere of 2 and 3 should be retained in remakes of these games and implemented into a remake of the original. 2 has various types of atmospheres depending on the locations, with industrial atmosphere in the offshore rig sections, otherworldly atmosphere in the Xi'an levels, and echoing sounds from the caverns and in depths of the sea. 3 has a more suspenseful, spooky feel that makes you feel what the heck is going on. The original Tomb Raider games ever get remade, Crystal Dynamics should focus on the exploration, level design, environments, and music, and make those things their priority, rather than heavily focusing on the narrative, story, combat, and visuals, because Tomb Raider must be created and stylized in such a certain way rather than just ripping off games such as Uncharted. I hope all these things I've mentioned in this video not only reach the ears of Crystal Dynamics, but also it reaches the next game in some format and style. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, I have a lot of videos like this coming, so subscribe and I'll see you next time. Take care.